Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children that they're keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Now, I just want to do this lesson on this YouTube short. I kind of got away from doing the lessons on the pop the balloon because, you know, at one point when I was doing them a little bit heavier, maybe about 2 months ago or so, I was watching it because I hadn't watched it actually. So I was watching them just to kind of get an idea of what all really and truly be going on there. So anyways, of course, you know, they always had all these different episodes. It's all for entertainment anyway. These women come on there just to be entertained. They're not really looking for no husband or no man. And this video this short definitely lets you know that even more, that these women, they just go on there just for entertainment. And these women are not wife material. None of them. And the point I want to make from this is how these women always have an ideal of what a good man's supposed to be, or what a man's supposed to be, or what he's supposed to have, or how he's supposed to be. They can never be satisfied, for one. But two, notice how none of them are up to standards for a woman. None of these women that ever come on these shows, or even the women that majority of the women that you around in your day-to-day life, or you see on a daily basis, these are not wife material. These women don't know how to be women. They don't know what a woman is. A woman means servant. When you look it up, and I ain't talking about on Google. On Google, you can go into the etymology of the word woman. Goes back to wife, and wife, W-I-F, it goes back to servant. You know, but ultimately, these women, they don't know how to serve a man. They don't know how to be under a man, be submissive. They don't know those traits. They don't have those qualities. They don't have the necessary skills to take care of a man. I don't care how much she can cook and clean. It's more than taking care of a man than cooking and cleaning, and even giving them sex. The scriptures talk about a virtuous wife and a virtuous woman all throughout the scriptures. And it tells you how well she would be to him, how well she treat him. It can and help increase his lifespan, you know. Or if she be an evil wife, it'll decrease him, his lifespan, But I'm gonna play this video. These women are out their mind, They're completely out their mind. The things that they say is all for entertainment. And I don't even know why men even steady going on these shows, unless these are just older videos that happened years ago and when they first started. But still, there's many videos now, women complaining about men not approaching women no more. Men don't care about women. This is only over here in the West. The men, or it's predominantly over here in the West. The men don't care about women. They don't want women. Well, I ain't gonna say want, but they don't care. They're not approaching. They're not studying them, They're focusing on themselves. And now it's making these women really look in the mirror and try to figure out what's wrong with them, as to why men don't want to approach them, why they can't find a man. Because all these women out here are single and not married, and some of them are without children, and the ones that do have children, they're not with the father. This is madness. So like I said, I'm gonna play this video, and you can just see and listen to what these women say. And I'm gonna make the thumbnail, that picture that brother's been posting around, the so-called black woman on the salt, with Lot's wife caption. That was actually pretty funny. Whoever thought about that, man, that was really funny. But it's true. So fair use. I'm not using this to make any money. This is strictly for educational purposes, just to bring out some biblical truth. This is not being monetized in any way. Fair use. Lord, will you edified.
This alpha woman rejected him because of the sound of his voice, but what he did next left everyone speechless. Even the host couldn't believe what was happening.
And what's your name?
James.
James?
Yes.
James, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay, and what do you do?
I'm a recent law school graduate, and I also do a little bit of commentary work, legal and political.
Right, nice. So do you look for in a woman?
I like someone who is very family oriented.
Okay.
Someone who's going to put family above career. I like someone who likes to go to church and values the relationship with God. I like someone. Okay. I like someone who maybe just is into the things that I like to do, into like helping homeless people, into at-risk youth, someone who's naturally nice, just a naturally kind person. It's not forced. Someone who's nice to the waitress, but it's also nice to the CEO of the company.
Okay, all right, that's a good.
Let's go.
Well, now, what are some of your deal breakers? Your name and age, and why'd you end up popping your balloon?
Ayana, and I'm 27. Originally, it was because you were so soft-spoken and like you're so sweet. I'm a native New Yorker, and we're very loud. So I want to make sure that you're very, you feel equate. You don't feel like I am an alpha woman, but you don't feel like overly powered by me.
I don't know. As far as me being soft-spoken, I'm actually originally from Georgia, southern Georgia, small town called Hinesville, and I now live out in Los Angeles. So just kind of where I was raised,
Yes.
but can't help that. But
And age, and why'd you end up popping your balloon?
My name is Waverly and I'm 30. And I popped my balloon. I just want to start by saying the faith aspect, I mean, that is definitely what I'm looking for. Like someone that's a man of God, serious about their faith, wanting to serve the community. But
Oh, here we go again.
after hearing your voice for a while, the kind of like she mentioned, the soft spokenness just wasn't attractive to me.
I want you to come out here.
I mean, not
Now, she's someone that's your type?
I don't know. As far as the soft-spokenness, again, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know exactly what you mean by that. As far as like you want someone to speak louder or speak deep, voice be deeper, or
I don't even know how I would describe it. I was
because
almost
it could be changed. It can always kind of change up no matter what. So, do you want to get your balloon back?
No, I want you to be your authentic.
Good job.
This alpha.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's completely madness. And this man, I don't even know why he's on the show like that. Trying to go in there looking for one woman. And they say he just finished law school. He got everything set up for him where he's gonna come and, make money and he do good things on the side. And you going and all these are low quality women. None of these women are natural. Just like this first one. You look at her, that's not her real hair. That's not her real face. She got all the makeup and everything on. Or whatever she got on, the lashes. That's not her real face. And yeah, she might have the shape if that's really her body. You gotta question everything nowadays. We just gonna assume that that's her real
Woman
body.
rejected him because of.
Make sure that you're very, you feel equate. You don't feel
Even
like
the
I'm.
second one,
Aspect, I mean,
not natural at all. That's not her real hair. And like I said, she got women got all these things. I can't tell if she got lashes. Yeah, she got lashes on. It looked like she got lashes on. It looked like it at least. I can't really tell. Can't zoom in.
that is definitely.
She probably don't. But either way, these women are not. She told him to be his authentic self, and you're not your authentic self. At least the woman beside you, that look like her real. That's her real hair. That's her real hair. And it's okay for it to look like it is.
What
She wore her real hair. I don't know if she styled it like that or let's see.
Or what? So
Well, it looks like her real hair. I don't know about the ponytail at the back, at the very back. And then you got this woman with the bald. The scriptures talk about how it's a shame for a woman to be bald. And they out here wearing it proudly. Being bald proudly. Your hair is your glory. And at least she let you know she ain't no God-fearing woman. But all these women, they're not God-fearing. They're not trying to be godly women, because if they were, especially like the one in black, if she was trying, and I've seen plenty of videos where the woman in black, she had got all the way to the end with a guy, and the guy really wanted her actually, because he was attracted to her. She was the right size. I mean, she looked good. Don't get me wrong, but she asked for authentic, and that's not what you're giving. You're not Salakia. You're not giving authentic, but that's what you're asking for. But anyway, she looked good. You know, she got all the way to the very end with a guy, and then popped her balloon. All the other options of women, the woman before her that popped, she hesitated, and she just gave up. She eliminated herself because she felt like he was gonna choose the other woman anyway. I guess he may have been looking at her more or something. So she just gave up. She said she felt like they was gonna be a better couple. But I'm willing to bet she already knew that he wanted her. And she got to the very end and then popped on him. So he didn't get not damn one of them women. And women get off on that, you know, especially these type of women. They get off on seeing a man choose the one he wants and then rejecting him, or rejecting men in general. But like I said, they over here talking about his voice. Now here it is, a woman, and I don't know how tall he is, but he look like he about 6 feet. They always talk about they want 6 feet. They want a 6-figure man. He look like he in shape. Look like he got a lot of good things going for him. And then you talking about his voice, like that's something he can change. Or you talking about she from New York, and they speak loud, and he's speaking so. These are the type of women that's going to be destroyed over here in Babylon the Great. These type of women are not going to be saved. Yahweh Shema Shah is not going to save these women. And he's not going these type of women. And he's definitely not going to pair you up with the brothers. You know, the men of the elect. The Lord, when he wouldn't dare give a man that he loves, you know, that's beloved of him, over he wouldn't give you or these type of women over to a man that's beloved of him. You know, he's going to give a woman that's going to really be a woman that's going to benefit him. And she and the other girl, her name was Waverly. She was saying something about she want a God-fearing man. No, you don't. You want a man that's going to do what you want him to do. That's going to conform to what you want. That's really what women want. They don't want a God-fearing man. Because if they wanted a God-fearing man, they would get with the brothers. They would be seeking the brothers right now. You know, they would be doing it right now. Not because we know Isaiah 4:1 is coming. And they're going to definitely do it then, because they're going to be looking for salvation and safety and security and stability. But they'll be doing it right now. They want a man that's going to submit to what they want. That's really what these women want. First, let me get that ball. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 5. And every woman who prays or prophesies when she has her head uncovered, disgraces her head. It says, in public, respectable women wore their hair done up in a modest style. In the Greco-Roman Jewish culture, which we know what they're trying to say, during the time where the Greeks and Rome had rulership over the nation of Israel. It says, of that time, hair worn down and loose would suggest a woman of questionable morals. Right. Hair worn down and loose would suggest a woman of questionable morals. Let's see what that means. Questionable. Doubtful as regards truth or quality. Not clearly honest, honorable, or wise. That's the type of women we dealing with now in today's time. They wear their hair all out. They want men to see their beauty. They want everybody in this world to see their beauty. They want people to lust after them, to chase after them. They want to be desired by everybody, by every man. And that's, like I said, questionable morals. It's not clearly honest, honorable, or wise. They're supposed to have their head wrapped. They're supposed to be completely covered because you're dishonoring your head, which is your man. Let's see, controversial, contentious, open to question, suspicious, look, jumping to the bottom, suspect, under suspicion, irregular, fishy, right, unclear, problematic, problematical. That's back in the first definition. Problematic. It causes problems, you know. It causes problems. This is why the Lord told women to cover up. That's why he told you to dress modest when you out in public. Head wrapped, body covered. Nothing is exposed. All of that is for your man. Because when men can see your body, they can see your shape, and they can see your figure, and nowadays they can see your features and everything. You can women basically be naked in public. It's gonna make men desire you, and it makes adultery. It's easy for adultery to be committed. That's why there's so much adultery going on in this kingdom right now. Notice how when the other nations, especially like the Ishmaelites, or who I think it's Ishmael, who be having their women over here covered up in public. Though the women that be covered up in public. And 9 times out of 10, they be in all black. And all you can see is their face. I guarantee you, men don't be trying to talk to them. People will look at them. You know, us in this truth, we don't look at them like they're weird. We know people will look at them like they weird. But nobody, you know, us there's this knowledge, we don't look at them like they weird. We know that they doing what's right, you know? And they don't have people trying to talk to them, people trying to flirt with them or nothing, because they're covered up. But it's only the women over here in Babylon the Great, especially our women, that does everything completely against what Yahweh Shema commanded. I didn't even know I was going to pull this up. Oh, this must be some type of... Okay, there's some type of show. Oh, yeah, this is a show. Okay, we don't want that. Now it says, for she is the one and the same as the women whose head is shaved in disregard. In disgrace. It says possibly the mark of an adulteress or a prostitute, but likely a sign of disgrace for any number of reasons. In one of Aristophanes' comedies, for example, head shaving is recommended for a woman whose son is cowardly or otherwise worthless. Man, yeah, you just think about it. Think about that woman that was standing up there. She might have a son, and trust me, 9 times out of 10, with that type of woman, that man is not in her life. That man or the father, if she have a child, and if she have a son, even if she have a daughter, but more likely, it's like you said, a son, that man is not in that life. And you can tell she popped the balloon when he said he wanted a woman that, you know, a God-fearing woman. And she popped the balloon. So you can already tell her son cowardly and worthless, you know. But like I said, it's possibly the sign of an adulteress or a prostitute. And this is all goes hand in hand. Like that's why I said, for she is one and the same as the women whose head is shaved in disgrace. So it's saying all the women who wear their hair out, and that you want the attention. That's what women on the streets do. Prostitutes actually do. They wear their hair out and they wear clothes to attract men because that's how they make their money. They make their money by getting men to sleep with them, or, you know, have sex with them so that they can get paid. And now women just do that naturally. Women just wear it out like that. You dressing like a harlot or a prostitute. It's all in the scriptures. you know? And all those women are dressed like that. Now, one time, have you seen a woman fully covered up with her head wrapped on that show, standing there waiting to be judged by a man? And or vice versa, being on the show, going to judge other men if the men are in line. You don't see that. Every woman on there tries to show off her figure and make herself look good, you know, or look attractive. Every single woman. Now, verse 6, if a woman does not cover her head, she should have her hair cut off. And if it is disgraceful for a woman to have her hair cut off or her head shaven, she should cover her head. Now, it says there is little doubt that this would appear disgraceful and embarrassing, but Paul is essentially providing his readers a simple way to determine for themselves if a woman should cover her head while prophesying or leading prayer in churches. This is not talking about women leading anything. Women don't lead nothing. They don't lead no prayer in church, or they don't prophesy as far as going out and teaching. They're not prophets. A woman can have a dream. She can have a dream and tell it to her husband, and he revealed a dream that his wife done had. But women are not prophets, and that's not what it's saying. It said, like I said, if a woman does not cover her head, she should have her hair cut off in disgrace, basically shaming her. That's what it's going into. Oh, you don't want to cover your head, you don't want to get in line, you don't want to be in order, then you need to be cut your hair off. It's a shame for you to be out in public with your hair all out, because this attracts unwanted attention. And when it attracts unwanted attention, it causes situations, it brings about situations that can cause sin. And the sin is adultery, you know, especially if this woman have a husband. And if she doesn't, she can play the harlot, because women are supposed to only have one husband, you know, their entire life, unless that man dies. Then they're free to remarry. And women are not on the same level as men. That's what this world teaches you, that we all equal women rights. No, that's not according to the scriptures. Women can't do what men do. We are biologically different. So it don't matter how a woman feels or how they think or what they think. All this makes sense when you look at this current society and see how it's failing, how this modern society is failing. Everything that we say in the scriptures makes even more sense, because doing it against what Yahweh Shem Yahushua and how he created it, you see all the problems that it causes, the things that the Lord was trying to prevent amongst the nation of Israel. Now, simultaneously, it says a man ought not have his head covered during worship, since he is the image and reflected glory of the Most High. But the woman is the expression of man's glory. Right, so she's supposed to cover her head, but men are not supposed to have their head covered. They're supposed to have their head uncovered, you know, when it comes to dealing with the service of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Now, if a woman is at home and she's behind, you know, in the privacy of her home, especially when she with her man, she can let her hair down, because he's going to see her full body. He's going to see he's going to have full 100% access to his woman. So yeah, if you want to dress up for your man, you buy certain things for your, just to wear, just to please him, just for him to see, that's fine. That's fine if you want to do that. If you, because it's only for him. It's only supposed to be for him. If you had your hair styled a certain way, you do something like this, something not like the prostitutes or nothing, but you just, you get yourself, you fix yourself up. Women know how to fix themselves up when they want to do something for their man. That's fine, because you're doing it for him. It's not supposed to be out there in public for everybody to see. I think it even said that. It didn't say it in public. Okay. Now it says, verse 8, for man does not originate from woman, but woman from man. Right, see? For indeed, man was not created for the sake of woman, but woman for the sake of man. So you belong to the man. The Lord said, look, the only reason you created was for the sake of men. So you belong to the man. That's how it works. That's the order. And there's nothing wrong with that. This it's just Esau Edom has programmed these women to think that no, you don't have to be under the man. You have a place in this world where you can be either equal to him or above him. The same thing that he fed Eve. That's why we fell in the first place. The serpent. It's just Esau Edom doing it all over again. He's done it all over again. Now look, therefore the woman ought to have a sign of authority on her head for the sake of the angels, so as not to offend them. This may be an indication that angels are present at gatherings of believers. Right, so it says she ought to have a sign of authority on her head. What? Let me see. It's probably not gonna pull nothing up. I just want to see if it give a matter of fact, let's see what another translation says. Cause that I like the way that's worded. It said for this NLT for this for this reason, and because the angels are watching, women should wear a covering on her head to show she is under authority. All right, so what does it mean to be under authority or a sign of authority? Let's get what authority means. Because the authority is the man. It says the power or right to give orders, make decisions, and enforce obedience. The sign of authority is basically her being under a man. That's why she's supposed to have her head covered. And a woman for her entire life is supposed to be under a man, starting with her father. Then when she get married to her husband, then she gonna be under her husband. Right. Which I'm not gonna read all the definitions because you get the point. And even down here at the bottom, it says origin from Old French authorite, and from Latin authoritas, from author, which is originator or promoter. But it says originator, and like it said, what is that? Verse 8: For man does not originate from woman, but woman from man. So man is the head. The men are the head. That's the sign of authority. You think if we read any of these scriptures to them women, you think they really gonna conform to this, or do you think that they already conforming to this? No, but they had a nerve to judge, a man, an Israelite man at that, because of his voice, saying he's soft spoken. And I know, like I said, we know that those shows, it's all for attention. Them women go on there and reject men just to feel good about themselves when they are below quality women. They're below average. And these women think that they deserve a high value man when they don't even know what a real high value man is. And a high value man, both in this world and a real high value man, or I say it like this, a high value man according to the standards of this world, and the true high value man, neither one of us or neither one of them want to deal with these type of women. Like the brothers say, or like men say in general, they're only for recreational purposes. Nobody trying to start a family with them. Now, verse 11, nevertheless, woman is not independent of man, nor man independent of woman. But what do these women say? I don't need no man. What do they always used to say? I don't need no man. I don't need a man. But the scriptures say otherwise. It says women is not independent of man, nor is man independent of woman, because we do need each other. Like I said, the woman was created for the sake of man, because we need the woman. We both have our perfect roles, and ultimately, in order for reproduction to happen and us to continue on the legacy on earth, we need women. We need women for things to help forward our legacy. Verse 12, for as the woman originates from man, so also is the man born through the woman. And all things, whether male or female, originate from the Most High as their creator. Right. Judge let's see what this verse acknowledge custom as another separate argument for a woman's head covering. It said, judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a woman to offer prayer to the Most High publicly with her head uncovered? No, it's not. That's wicked. There go the public right there. That's wicked. Even in private, women are not supposed to do it. Women are supposed to always have their head covered when they're praying. If service is going, if they're around service, reading the Bible, they're supposed to have their head covered. Does not common sense itself teach you that if a man has long hair, it is a dishonor to him? But if a woman has long hair, it is an ornament and glory, for her long hair is given to her as a covering. Right. So men, men are not supposed to have long hair. Men are not supposed to have dreads, this, that, and the third. Because I guarantee you, if a man came on there with dreads and tattoos and had that persona of being in the world, deep in the world, selling drugs or whatever the case may be, or just he ain't got to be doing that, just having that persona of the dreads and the tattoos. Women would be chasing him. None of them women would pop. He probably wouldn't even have to say much of the stuff that this guy said. He could say something a little less than that. A lot of them women, they would not pop. But the scriptures say otherwise. The scriptures say a man with long hair, that's disgraceful. That's dishonorable. Yahweh Shema Shah told us not to have long hair as men. But for women to have long hair, that's a glory unto her. Her hair is a glory. Go back up. We'll read verse 3. Because I don't know why I didn't start it there. It says, but I want you to understand that Yahweh Shah is the head, authority over of every man, and man is the head of women, and the Most High is the head of Yahweh Shah. So there go that sign of authority. Yahweh Shah is our head, and his head is the Heavenly Father himself, Yahweh. And we are the head of women. You think any of these women gonna get with that process? No. Even the one that said she wanted a God-fearing man, let that man be in his truth. He ain't even got to be in the truth. Let this man just start trying to order his house and tell her that she needs to do this and do that. And she needs to be, this is how he want things done. And watch how that relationship ends. Watch how she ends that relationship. And be right back standing right there in that line. So these women, they're too far gone. The mass and a lot of women would think, well, that's them. That's how they think. That's how they act. A lot of these women say that or have that mindset until they get put in that situation and they make the exact same decisions or worse and same comments or worse that these women will make. And sometimes it take a little bit less time. Sometimes it take a little bit more time. But eventually they all get to that same conclusion. They all get to the same conclusion. They all act the same. They not different. The mass majority of them know. Now the women that's of the elect, the women that Yahweh Shema Shah has been working on, they're different, of course, And this, the negative aspects of, what I was going into, it don't really apply to them because the Lord is working with you, But for the most part, these women, they too far gone, and they're not going to be saved. So. Lord will, this is the edifying. Oh, matter of fact, since I said I was gonna get it. This is Luke 17:32. I'm gonna read an AMP. Remember what happened to Lot's wife when she looked back. Right. Remember Lot's wife. Remember what happened to Lot's wife when she looked back. She turned to a pillar of salt. Now these women are going to turn to ashes. They're going to be burned up, by these thermonuclear missiles, all the ones who don't get taken away from Jacob's trouble. It's going to be a lot of judgment going on. And these women, they're going to die single and alone. They're going to die horrible deaths alone, single and alone, But Lord will, this is an edifying lesson. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, shalom.